Hey, welcome to another episode of Band Together Leadership. My name is Paul Everts. I am the founder and presenter for the Band Together Leadership. Please go to my email address and contact me because I'd love to hear from you. BAND, the number 2, Together, bandtogether at Comcast.net. Also, go to our website, conductingmylife.com. Go to the curriculum tab. You'll see I'm part of the John Maxwell team. John Maxwell is a New York Times bestselling author. Got great material for you and I to get better. At Band Together, we believe better people make better leaders, and we are striving to be better all the time. Not perfect. Trust me, after 32 years, 33 years of teaching, I know I'm not perfect. So anyway, I'm doing this at 9:29 a.m. February 4th. It's a Friday. I'm wearing my Pebble Beach gear because this is the U.S. Open, but right now it's the weekend of the Pebble Beach AT&T. However, you should be seeing this in March, right? This is posted on March 22nd, 2022. The idea for this series is to go through the great book, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell, and let me give you a little look at it. Cannot suggest you strong enough, encourage you strong enough to get this book. This is a great book, and I don't read the entire chapter because my hope is that you will go buy the book and you will read the chapter and you'll go, what? I'd like to hire Paul as a coach, as a speaker, as a trainer to come help you individually or the group that you're tied with. We even have some great curriculum on families and parenting. So look me up, please, everybody. We are on chapter 10, actually, chapter 10, the law of connection. So let me go ahead and start reading it for you. And here we go. The law of connection. Leaders touch a heart before they ask for a hand. Dr. Maxwell loves communicating, and I do too. It's one of the joys of his life and one of his passions. I would agree it's for me as well. Although he has spent more than 30 years speaking professionally, he is always looking for ways to grow and keep improving in that area. That's why Dr. Maxwell tries to see first-rate communicators in person when he gets the chance. For instance, Dr. Maxwell made a trip to San Jose, California, to see an event sponsored by the local Chamber of Commerce. Speaking that day was an all-star cast of communicators. Mark Russell, who used humor so effectively. Mario Cuomo, who infused passion into everything he said. The brilliant Malcolm Forbes, whose insight made him every subject he talked about seem brand new. And Colin Powell, whose confidence gave everyone in the audience security and hope. Every one of those communicators was strong and was able to develop an incredible rapport with the audience. But as good as they were, none was as good as Dr. Maxwell's favorite. Head and shoulders above the rest stood Elizabeth Dole. No doubt you have heard of Elizabeth Dole. She is a lawyer by trade, was a cabinet member in the Reagan and Bush administrations, and is now the president, or was, because again this book was written in the 90s. She is a marvelous communicator. She was the president of the American Red Cross. Elizabeth Dole's particular gift, which she demonstrated in San Jose that day, was making Dr. Maxwell and everyone else in her audience feel as though she was really our friend. Elizabeth Dole made Dr. Maxwell glad that he was there. The bottom line is that Elizabeth Dole really knows how to connect with people. In 1996, she demonstrated that ability to the whole country when she spoke at the Republican National Convention. If you watched it on television, and of course you can now YouTube that, you know what Dr. Maxwell is talking about. When Elizabeth Dole walked out into the audience that night, they felt that she was their best friend. She was able to develop an amazing connection with them. Dr. Maxwell also felt that connection even though he was sitting in his living room at home watching Miss Dole on television. Once she finished her talk, Dr. Maxwell would have followed her anywhere. Bob never made that connection. Also speaking at the convention was Bob Dole. That would be Elizabeth's husband. Not surprising, since he was the Republican nominee for the presidential race. Anyone who watched would have observed a remarkable difference between the communication abilities of the two speakers. Where his wife Elizabeth was warm and approachable, Bob appeared stern and distant. Throughout the campaign, Bob Dole never seemed to be able to connect with people. Many factors came into play in the election of a president of the United States, but not least among them is the ability of a candidate to connect with his audience. A lot has been written about the Kennedy-Nixon debates of the 1960 election. One of the reasons Kennedy succeeded was that he was able to make the television audience feel connected to him. The same kind of connection developed between Ronald Reagan and his audience. And in the 1992 election, Bill Clinton worked extremely hard to develop a sense of connection with the American people. To do it, he even appeared on the talk show Arsenio and played his tenor saxophone. I believe Bob Dole is a good man. That would be Dr. Maxwell. But Dr. Maxwell also knows he never connected with the people. Ironically, after the presidential race was over, Bob Dole appeared on Saturday Night Live, a show that made fun of him during the entire campaign, implying that he, Bob Dole, was humorless and out of touch. On the show, Bob Dole came across as relaxed, approachable, and able to make fun of himself. And he was a hit with the audience. Dr. Maxwell can't help wondering what might have happened if Bob Dole had done more of that early in his campaign. The heart comes first. Effective leaders know that you first have to touch people's hearts before you ask for their hand. That is the law of connection. All great communicators recognize the truth and act on it almost instinctively. You cannot move people to action unless you first move them with emotion. The heart comes before the hand. Public and private connection. Connecting with people is not something that needs to happen only when a leader is communicating to groups of people. It needs to happen with individuals. The stronger the relationship and connection between individuals, the more likely the follower will want to help the leader. That is one of the most important principles Dr. Maxwell has taught his staff over the years. Dr. Maxwell's staff at Skyline used to groan every time Dr. Maxwell would say, "People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care." And that's the way I end my broadcasts, with that statement. I love that statement. But they also knew that that statement's true. You develop credibility with people you connect with and show that you genuinely want to help them. The greatest leaders are able to connect on both levels, with individuals and with an audience. So, connect with people one at a time. Also, a key to connecting with others is recognizing that even in a group, you have to relate to people as individuals. General Norman Schwarzkopf remarked, "I have seen competent leaders who stood in front of a platoon and all they saw was a platoon. But great leaders stand in front of a platoon and see it as 44 individual people, each of whom has aspirations, each of whom wants to live, each of whom wants to do good." It's the leader's job. Some leaders have problems with the law of connection because they believe that connecting is the responsibility of followers. That is especially true of positional leaders. They often think, "I'm the boss, I have the position, these are my employees, let them come to me." Successful leaders who obey the law of connection are always initiators. They take the first step with others and then make the effort to continue building relationships. That is not always easy, but it is important to succeed or to have success in the organization. A leader has to do it, no matter how many obstacles there might be. Let me give you one more thing, and then I'm going to leave you, and I'm going to give you something else. One more time, it may sound corny, but it's really true. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. The result of connection. When a leader has done the work to connect with his people or her people, you can see it in the way the organization functions. Among employees, there are incredible loyalty and a strong work ethic. The vision of the leader becomes the aspiration of the people. That's awesome. The impact is incredible. You can also see the results in other ways. On Boss's Day in 1994, a full-page ad appeared in USA Today. It was contracted and paid for by the employees of Southwest Airlines, and it was addressed to their boss, their CEO, Herb Keller. It says the following. It says, "Thanks, Herb, for remembering every one of our names, for supporting the Ronald McDonald House, for helping load baggage on Thanksgiving, for giving everyone a kiss, and we mean everyone, for listening, for running the only profitable airline, for singing at our holiday party, for singing only once a year, for letting us wear shorts and sneakers to work, for golfing at the LUV Classic with only one club, for out-talking Sam Donaldson, for riding your Harley-Davidson into Southwest headquarters, for being a friend, not just a boss. Happy Boss's Day, Herb, from each one of your 16,000 employees." A display of affection like that occurs only when a leader has worked hard to connect with his people. Don't ever underestimate the importance of building relational bridges between yourself and the people you lead. There is an old saying, here it is: to lead yourself, use your head. To lead others, use your heart. That's the nature of the law of connection. Always touch a person's heart before you ask him or her for a hand. So I'm going to confess to you right now, as I've gotten older, I'm 56 years old. I just retired from public education on December the 22nd, 2021. That law has gotten weaker as I have gotten older. And I need to do a better job with that. That law right now is kicking my fanny. I think what happens is that when you get older, you tend to be that law of position that, hey, man, I'm 56. Why are you not listening to me? Opposed to, you know what? I got to listen to you more. But there are so many cultural changes right now. That's the challenge, and I don't want that challenge to be an excuse. However, there are some changes that I can't support, and I definitely hope that those people and I would come together and go, you know what? I still love you, even though I don't like that. And I hope that they would say, I still love you, Paul, even though I don't like that. Right now, and I'm guilty of it too. I told you this is a confession. I'm guilty of defriending. I'm guilty of blocking. And with that also being said, I don't want to have such a sore cheek because I turn the other cheek so often I just keep getting hit. So I got to say to you, the law of connection, as I read it on the 4th of February at 9:29, definitely needs some massaging on my part. I need to figure out what I got to do. Because our world's changing. I might need to make the shift, but I don't want to lose my morals, and I don't want to lose my character. Hey, let's go with something positive, real positive. Not that wasn't positive, but this is positive. On April 29th at the Cafe 210 in beautiful Visalia, California, Band Together Visalia makes its debut. 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., looking for teenagers to come be with me and work out John Maxwell's book. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn, for teenagers. 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Cost is yet to be determined. If you go to our website, which is conductingmylife.com, all the information should be there by now. Just to remind you, you're seeing this March 22nd, and I recorded this the February the 4th. So we are working on doing that. I'm let you know. There you go. Paul's saying with confidence on February 4th, this is going to be happening. With a minute left to go, let me show you one more thing we are doing here. Band Together Visalia 2022. Boom, baby. This is what we're working on April the 30th. Registration's at 8 a.m. We are going to have this event at the First Presbyterian Church of Visalia. It's open to the community. We're grateful to have the church host this. And again, it's open to the community. This is a secular event. It's not a sacred event. Got 33 seconds to tell you. Come to this event. Again, conductingmylife.com. You can also reach me at my email address for some more because I want to connect with you. I got 15 seconds. Lastly, I know there's a jail. I know there's law enforcement down in Visalia, Tulare County, even Kern County. I want you to look at coming and being with me. I've read this book. I'm reaching out to the entire community. We need leaders there. We need people who want to know how to lead better, which is all of us, I would hope. And I went over time by 15 seconds, and I'm sorry. Begin with the end in mind. Every choice you make is who you are. Choose wisely. Seek first to understand, then be understood. And finally, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I care about you very much. Thanks a lot for your support and your love. Have a great day.